Hi, my name is Nacho, welcome back to the channel. And if you missed Madame Web's premiere on Valentine's Day, don't worry. A lot of other people also did. In my previous video, I highlighted a few things that made me think this movie was gonna perform poorly, but oh boy how undershot I was. Turns out that this movie is so bad, critics are taking back the reviews they did on Morbius, saying that in comparison, perhaps we owe that movie an apology. A lot of critics are also saying that it's not as bad as Morbius. Turns out that at the time of making this video, it actually is. But in all honesty, Madame Web never really gave itself the best chances of success. The movie was rewritten so many times Dakota Johnson said at the end it was a totally different script than the one that was pitched to her. The trailer had one line of dialogue that was so memed out by the fans, and they didn't even left it in the final cut. Sony didn't allow any early showings, releasing their review embargo the day before it was premiered. A move done many times before that denotes how insecure the creators of a film are about their finished product. And you didn't need to see the future to know that this movie is gonna be a disaster, and the critics did not hold back. The only good thing that can be said is that it's not the worst film based on a Marvel comic book. It will take a mighty effort to dethrone Morbius. As Madame Web tells her colleague at one point, I just wanna go home and watch Idol. You and me both, Dakota, you and me both. People taking stabs at Dakota as well. Madame Web is not the worst movie Dakota Johnson has starred in. That might not seem like much of a statement until you remember she was in 3 50 Shades movies. However, there are some positive reviews. It's a travesty, a disaster, a blight on the history of superheroes and cinema itself. I enjoy the hell out of it. Yes, probably the only good thing about this movie is how much you can make fun of it. If you could see a head like Madame Web, you might fix your future by waiting to see this on streaming. But by far, the worst insult I've seen this movie received is being called the cats of superhero movies.
No one saw that. And the reviews, oh, shocking. I saw one that said, this is the worst thing to happen to cats since dogs.
Some reviews go further into detail, like NBC News saying that Madame Web is meme fodder that doesn't quite stick the landing. Despite the hundreds of memes with the iconic line, "He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died," you gotta remember, those same memes gave Morbius a second run at the theaters. So don't get discouraged, girls, you might be able to bring that Rotten score even lower. Now, over at Rolling Stones with an article titled "Madame Web isn't as bad as you heard, it's so much worse," where they also rip into the laughing stock that the fans made out of the trailer and Dakota Johnson's decaf line readings. Damn. I guess that only works for soft porn, huh? But in true Rolling Stone spirits, they had to bring out that all of this might just be some merciless shit-talking chalked up to old-fashioned fanboy misogyny, with online trolls ready to tear apart anything even remotely associated with lady superheroes.
You need to stop being such a cunt.
I made a whole ass video why that is total bullshit. More than the toxic fans, I would say that when you have 2 out of your 4 writers who are directly responsible for making one of the lowest rated movies in your cinematic universe, among others, the third one being your director who, like I mentioned before, has the most fluctuating track record possible, and the last one doesn't fare any better,
I don't even know who you are.
you can't really blame the fans when they point out how shit your script play is. There's a whole compilation of lines on Twitter from the movie that sound like a monkey wrote them.
Never thought I'd be this happy to be back in Queens.
Wait, you've never been shot at in Queens?
Subtle. Very subtle. You know that your movie sucks when the very same critic review website that should have your back no matter what, just for being an all-female led superhero, is saying that your movie is so bad, it's making Morbius trend again.
It's Morbid time.
We might just have a third theatrical run, boys, let's fucking go! The film has, indeed, drawn comparisons to Morbius. Some reviewers have gone as far as call it even worse than Morbius, though that could be an exaggeration. It's not. But I went to watch the film, and I'm telling you, it was a fight just to get in there. I was afraid I was gonna get trampled by the wave of supporting feminists and the allies who wanted to watch the film at the same time as me. Definitely an extreme experience. Now onto serious spoilers. I'm not gonna do a full review of the movie. I don't want to. It's gonna take me too long. There is so many things wrong with this, so I'm just gonna cut to the ending. After Cass discovered her disease was cured by her mother getting bitten a minute before she slided out of her, no kidding, that was the smoothest childbirth I've ever seen. Also, the spider juju went into her DNA extremely fast. Anyways, reaching the end, she sees Sims finally getting to the girls. she saves them by running an ambulance into him, takes them to an explosive warehouse that's actually just fireworks, get caught in the fire they started, and Sims basically now has all three of his potential killers dangling for their lives over a blazing fire with Cass in front of him, crawling towards the Pepsi sign that will eventually kill him. Easiest kills in the entire Spider-Man universe. Throughout the movie, they established that this guy had super strength, super speed, perhaps a spider sense, or psychic powers like the people from the Amazon where he was with her mom when she was researching spiders right before she died. But the moment he has all four women where he wants them, he walks very slowly and lets Dakota kill time to eventually release her Ultimate Shadow Clone Jutsu to save all three girls at once, allowing the fireworks to hit him and damage him, the same guy who tanked an ambulance not long ago. Then the Pepsi sign gets hit, trapping him and eventually kills him. Now Cassie was also on that sign when he fell, but instead of hitting the concrete, she falls in the water. She gets hit in the head with a piece of flying shrapnel that blinds her and somehow puts her in a chair, so she ended up a cripple anyways. Sorry mom. We get a dream sequence with all of them in their superhero outfit, and we get this gem of a final image. Man, this looks like that one superhero movie with Shaquille O'Neal. And the movie ends up without showing us at any point how any of the three girls becomes a Spider-Woman. You want to see Sydney Sweeney in a spandex outfit? Think again, loser. This is a movie about sisterhood. Get away from here with your male gaze. It is the ladies who are gonna make this movie a success. Right? Ladies? But like any superhero flop, and this is a flop, there's no redemption possible here. No idea how they're gonna leverage a sequel after this. There's always a side of the internet who doesn't see the big picture and support what is, in fact, unsupportable. These, however, are more likely to be all bots. But one thing is true. There is going to be a before and after Madame Web, which is why probably after hearing the reception this film had, if the reports are true, Amazon just did a full creative overhaul of the team responsible for the series Silk in order to refocus it to a more male-skewing audience. That alone will be enough to turn this show's chances upside down. But this goes beyond making the content more towards men. This comes down to hiring people who are competent, who have proven to be able to make successful films, who know and respect the source material. Any business wants to make a profit. Let me ask you, if you were Sony and you see the results that this production had, would you A. choose a different path, look back on your previous successes and bring back the people who made things work and get rid of the ones who are doing the wrong thing for your brand, or B. double down and continue to appeal to equality and representation until the audience eventually breaks or the money runs out? If you pick the latter, you might be eligible for a senior position over at Disney California. But if you watch this far into a video, leave us a like. Thank you so much to my supporters over at Coffee. You guys are amazing. Check out this video next. Let me know in the comments down below, how did you spend Valentine's? And as always, I've been Nacho. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.